Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all creatures of the night. Welcome to Nassau Community College Theater and Dance Department's first ever one-night-only Zoom to YouTube reading of Dracula, a vampire play. My name is David Overton, and it is my distinct pleasure to be hosting tonight's event. This play is an adaptation by me of the novel by Bram Stoker that was a sensation when it was published in 1897. And while I may have condensed and abbreviated certain segments, I tried to stay faithful at least to the spirit of the book. Regardless, we have an exciting presentation for you all tonight, and I thank you for staying home and clicking on the link to support these fine performers and their awesome work. I'd like to also say thank you to the Nassau Community College administration for giving the go for this production. Thank you to our chair, Mr. Richard Ginsberg, for his support, and thank you to Peter Fox and Kira Pfaff, who provided a great deal of assistance throughout this process. One final note, tonight's performance of Dracula, a vampire play, will include Matthew Miniero in the role of Quincey. For a full program of the cast, please scroll down to the description on this YouTube page. Thank you again for this opportunity, and now enjoy the show.
How dare you touch him? Back, all of you! How dare you even cast your eyes upon him? He belongs to me.
What is he to you, master?
That is my concern.
He can offer you nothing that can't come from someone else. Please.
He is a means to an end.
You yourself never loved.
Never love.
Yes, I too can love. You yourselves can tell it from the past, is it not so?
That was many years ago.
And now she is gone.
I will have another to place above you all, and this man here will lead me to her.
How delightful.
Now go! I must awaken him, for there is work to be done.
But master, are we to have nothing tonight?
We are so thirsty.
I always provide. She was to be mine. But now for your pains, I give her to you. Am I not generous?
Truly, you are great.
Can you call me heartless now?
No, indeed.
No, stop! Help me, Arthur!
What is
Help
it?
me!
What's wrong? What's the trouble?
Help me!
Wake up,
Help
Lucy,
me!
Wake up! She's
Good
delirious.
Lord.
Get me my bag.
More transfusions?
No, something to calm her.
Help
Get
me!
my bag.
Help me!
Here.
Lucy,
What's
I'm
this doing?
here.
What's wrong
Away
with
from
her?
me!
I don't know, Jonathan. Hold her. Her fever is simply not breaking. What happened?
She began thrashing and crying out.
Where is this doctor of yours? Professor Van Helsing should be here any time now. Miss Pickering, make yourself useful and get me some tea.
Tea at a time like this?
Just get it.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
And wake Mr. Quincey Morris.
And Mr. Arthur Homewood.
I think Mr. Morris will do.
Mr. Homewood is her fiancé. He should be notified.
Fine. But I can't say there won't be trouble.
Then control yourself.
Dr. Seward, was that tone necessary? You were rather rude to Miss Pickering just now.
Man, I'm confounded and I've lost my patience with all this nonsense.
Yes, I understand.
Well, Lucy, Jonathan, what are we going to do?
I know you love Lucy, but we must remain calm. Dr. Seward, what are we going to do?
Let's think about this logically. First, Miss Pickering.
Yes, sir.
My sincerest apologies. I was most rude to you just now.
Not to worry, sir. I understand you're a bit stressed these days. If there's anything else then, sir?
No, thank you. Secondly, we must find a way to get Miss Lucy back to good health.
Indeed, that is our current situation.
And what are we going to do?
Logic. Let's review the events. You, Miss Mina, discovered Lucy some nights ago sleepwalking along the corridor.
Yes, it was most frightening.
She was pale and seemed to have lost a great deal of blood.
This was after my return from Transylvania.
Yes,
And she has been sleepwalking every night since then, correct?
yes.
Meanwhile, she has had irregular vital signs, no appetite, and puncture wounds on her neck.
Is there anything going on with Lucy you haven't told us about?
Good question.
What can you mean?
Has she had any relations that might have been placed her in a position to become...
I don't follow you, Dr. Seward.
Is she in any state of being at present that might warrant a loss of blood, such as...
Having been with a man.
Mr. Homewood, for instance. Perhaps she and he...
Are you inferring that Lucy might be pregnant?
In such a state, unusual things, loss of blood, feeling faint, dizzy spells could occur.
Of course she's not pregnant. Lucy has yet to be wed.
Mina, dear, Lucy has many admirers, and we were simply inquiring if
How
perhaps...
could you suggest such a thing? While Lucy has had many suitors, she is still honorable and virtuous.
Mina, my dear, don't get upset. We simply mean to rule out certain possibilities.
Oh, rule it out. It is most certainly not a possibility.
That leaves, then, the question of her blood. How many transfusions has she had now, Doctor?
3, no 4, including Mr. Homewood's second effort.
How is that possible? Why does she keep needing blood?
It can't just be disappearing.
Still, she's losing it somehow.
Excuse me, Mr. Homewood to see you?
Ah, excellent.
So good of you to come, Arthur.
Evening, Miss Marie.
Mr. Homewood, I'm afraid Miss Lucy has had another bad spell.
Where's Quincey?
Just behind me.
Howdy, folks. What'd I miss?
Good, we're all here.
Gentlemen, we may have to ask your assistance again, I'm afraid.
Need me to hold down another one of your lunatics, Doc?
That would mean only to restrain yourself.
Not this time. I'm afraid it's much worse at the present.
What the hell's going on?
Lucy's in trouble.
Again? Christ, Dr. Seward! I bring her to you for help, and you don't seem to be able to take care of her at all.
He has tried!
You stay out of this!
Gentlemen!
Didn't all this happen after your trip abroad? Didn't you say you brought something back with you? An unexplainable...
Yes, I did mention that I had felt as if something had followed me from Transylvania, but if you're looking to place the blame on me...
Please, this is not about placing blame.
Isn't obvious enough?
Excuse me, but Jonathan was simply following instructions placed by his employer.
I don't give a damn what his instructions were, or whose instructions he followed.
Then let it go. Just drop it.
We need your help.
More specifically and more importantly, Lucy needs your help.
The sooner the better, if what I suspect is correct.
Van Helsing, you're here.
Your powers of observation serve you well. Now, use them in this current situation.
I am at a loss.
Professor, we do not know what to do.
In your earlier wire to me, you explained that she has been losing blood, yes?
A great deal.
Not just hers.
Not just ours.
Indeed. You both have given blood to this poor creature, no doubt. And now it appears she needs more. Both of you, roll up your sleeves.
What?
You're surprised?
This is preposterous.
Stop being so conventional and prepare the tubes and needles.
We did this not an hour ago.
And you'll do it again, gentlemen, quickly now.
Don't know if I can do this again.
Wrong, old boy. Does that blood make you queasy?
I can go just as long as you can. Get me a drink.
Best idea you've had so far.
Indeed, extra water will help you tolerate the transfusion.
Water? Are you kidding?
Hey, we mean a real drink. Give me a whiskey.
No, you must remember that there is a relationship between the liquids that enter into your body and the effects that they have. Even the church thinks as much. Alcohol at this moment is out of the question.
Come on, the church's all too happy to provide me with wine every Sunday.
Quite right. And that precious liquid empowers you in powerful ways. The church teaches it and science verifies it, but no alcohol now.
You don't mean to suggest that liquids retain properties that embrace the teachings of the church and go beyond science?
Answer the question yourself. When you take your sacred communion, does not the bread and wine the priest holds change into the body and blood of Christ?
Yes, that is what the church teaches.
But to agree with that or not is...
An entirely different matter. Transubstantiation, my friends. When the divine enters your bodies through the wine and bread, do not think this has no effect on you.
Maybe, but the blood we're giving her is not exactly touched by the divine.
And if it were, she wouldn't be able to tolerate it.
Something so wrong with Lucy that she couldn't accept blood touched by the divine.
She must be purified, but first she must have blood.
She has already had the blood of everyone.
It doesn't matter how many men have given blood. She will go on needing more until the source is found and eradicated.
I don't understand.
It is no wonder you haven't found a cause. You haven't been looking in the right places. Think, man. See these men drinking water?
Yes.
Yes, they drink. The water nourishes their bodies, keeps them alive. What must happen next?
What do you mean?
I mean just what I asked. What must happen next?
What? I don't...
To their bodies, what must happen next?
They drink the
They
water?
drink the water. They must have more in order to survive. If they do not drink more, they die. This is what happens, simple.
Yes, I understand that. They die, obviously.
And now you must apply what you say you obviously know to what is going on at the present.
Lucy must have blood?
Yes.
In order to survive?
Yes.
But she doesn't consume blood, at least not the way Arthur and Quincey consume water from a glass.
Not yet.
Not yet?
You don't mean to imply that Miss Lucy must drink blood in order to survive?
Surely not. A person simply manufactures more blood in order to survive.
Those that are not contaminated are able to do so.
Here now, what the hell are you talking about?
Something's not allowing her to manufacture blood.
You're beginning to understand.
I got it! Find the cause of what's not allowing her to create blood and eradicate it.
You have the makings of an astute doctor within you.
So what, per se, is this thing?
It's not a thing per se.
The cause, then?
Not a cause.
Then what?
Are you finished, Dr. Seward?
Yes, another transfusion. 2 at a time now.
Professor Van Helsing, what is this mysterious source you speak of?
I will explain, but first, tell me, Mr. Harker, during your travels in Transylvania, did you hear stories of a creature that must drink the blood of the living in order to survive?
Yes, the peasants had many strange tales of that nature that were especially concerned since my business pertained to Dracula.
I remember that. If you ask me, Mr. Harker here brought something back with him. It's caused all sorts of...
Please, do not start that row again.
I should like to hear more about this Count Dracula.
I don't know how much I could recall. I'm rather embarrassed at present, but much of what happened is now somewhat of a blur.
His appearance, then, surely you can manage that.
He had strong features, even in his face. Aquiline, a high bridge on his thin nose with highly arched nostrils. He was quite pale, and other than the wolves howling in the distance, he seemed to cast a palpable silence over everything, like snow over the land. And I'm sorry, that's all I can recall at present.
Van Helsing, if I may, why don't you ask him yourself? He will be arriving tonight.
Look.
Why, Arthur and Quincey!
Lucy.
I'm here for you, doll.
What happened?
The doctor here is trying to figure that out. Meanwhile, you try to rest up, keep quiet.
Oh, Arthur, I had the most horrible dreams!
Shh, everything's all right.
Miss Lucy, how do you feel?
My head is pounding. These nightmares, like I'm falling into an abyss and there were sounds and screams!
Lucy.
Oh, it was horrible, like I'm being rolled in nettles and I'm being consumed with, I don't know. What is that sound? I hear something. Stop it. Everyone, I hear everyone breathing!
Stop it, Lucy, or I'll have to give you another sedative.
I'm changing, doctor. I can feel it. My skin. I want to tear it off. I can hear your heart beating like it's going to burst. Everyone's. I hear it.
Stop it, Lucy. You're frightening me.
I am so hot. So hot. Please open the window.
Hold on, everyone. I'll get it.
It must remain closed.
You just want some fresh air, Professor.
No, it is imperative that the window remains closed and locked now and through the night.
You're not the doctor here.
But I am. Do as the professor says. Do not open any windows. Jonathan, get her a cloth for her forehead.
Right.
What kind of nut house you running here?
The kind that's aimed to care for Miss Lucy.
With little success.
Stop it, all of you. Lucy is trying to rest.
Fine. But you have a lot of explaining to do. I want to know what's going on with Lucy. I want to know who's responsible. And I want to know what we're going to do about it. For Christ's sake, none of this is natural.
Precisely my point. None of this is natural. We fight something that has the power of ages at its command. Miss Lucy's need for blood is not just a biological requirement. It is a desire, a need, A thirst that can never be quenched.
I don't believe
And that's exactly the strength that sustains it.
Lucy, can you hear me? Lucy, I want to talk to you. Lucy, come now, wake up.
Arthur, my love, I'm afraid I've disappointed you.
Nonsense. I just want you to get better. Can you do that for me?
I'm trying.
If you don't, we just have to shoot you.
Dog, put you out of your misery.
Oh, now you're teasing me.
Yes. Lucy, think now. Is there anything I can do for you?
It's so hot.
Somebody, get me a glass of water.
No, not water. I can't bear the thought of water.
Think she could have a brandy.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
suppose.
want that. Just come closer to me. Kiss me.
No, not for your living soul or hers.
Professor, what's the meaning of this?
Keep away from her.
What's all this?
Come to me.
Back,
Come to me.
I say.
What in the name of heaven?
Stay away from her.
You're not going to deny me, are you?
Ma'am?
Come to me. Let me kiss you. Just once.
Enough. You will have none, I say.
Then you, Professor. Come to me. Show me you care.
I care, and so you will have none. You must rest. This will help you. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
No!
Take it!
No!
You must!
Oh, Professor, I'm so frightened!
Be still, my child.
My friend, my true friend, and his. You alone seem to understand. Give him peace. You know who I mean.
I will. I swear it. My friends, Miss Lucy will be leaving us soon. You must all be brave.
What's happening?
Doc, you ain't gonna believe any of this.
Lucy, help her!
Professor, what do we do?
There's nothing we can do. She's
No!
dying.
Doctor, do something!
There is no pulse, Professor. She's dead.
Damn you, why didn't you help her?
I did, and I will.
You will. You will. There's nothing that can be done now.
Not so, alas. This is only the beginning, but we must wait.
Wait, I don't understand.
You don't seem to understand anything, do you?
See here, don't you take that tone with me.
Gentlemen, please!
As I suspected. Look here. See? Nosferatu. Vampire.
Her teeth, they've grown. How is that possible?
Indeed, they are long and sharp to use.
What in the name of... Art, look at this.
I see. All right, we'll do whatever you say.
Now, very good, both of you. Now, we must move Miss Lucy's body into the next room.
We'll need to arrange her funeral as soon as possible. Tomorrow.
Not to worry, I'll see to it.
If you like. But until then, Mr. Homewood and Mr. Morris are to keep watch over her. Keep the windows closed. Above all, watch Miss Lucy's body.
Very well.
Understood.
You don't think that someone wishes to steal this poor creature's body?
I simply do not wish for her to disappear.
Then that is impossible. She couldn't simply get up and walk away.
Miss Mina, you will want to keep this wreath of garlic around her neck and keep this crucifix on her chest.
I do not understand, but I will do as you say.
Dr. Seward, I want you to bring me a set of post-mortem knives.
An autopsy?
Yes, but not as you think.
What do you intend to do?
Cut off her head and take out her heart.
Good
Lord!
You can't mean it!
You, a surgeon, and so shocked?
Yes, but this seems absolutely unnecessary.
Believe me, if it were not for Mr. Morris and Mr. Homewood, I would like to do this instant.
But why do it at all? The girl is dead.
Later tonight, the three of us would perform our operation, then replace everything as it was.
This is monstrous.
Monstrous, you say? Gentlemen, the thing that comes is monstrous. What I wish to do is not. There are strange and terrible days before us. Let us not be separated. Let us be one in action and thought. Will you not have faith in me?
You have my faith and trust.
And mine.
And now, gentlemen, perhaps we will have that drink after all.
I'll second that.
What now?
Let me go. Get away from me!
It's Renfield.
Renfield, what is the meaning of this?
You must let me go. You must let me out of here.
For heaven's sake, what's wrong, man?
Please. It is not safe.
If you don't calm down this instant, you will be flogged and you will have no more flies. Now stop it this instant.
Flies? What do I care for flies now?
What is this you say?
Forgive me, Van Helsing. This is Renfield. He is my patient. He has been eating flies, and now I can only assume.
Flies are almost insignificant creatures that are eaten by spiders. Spiders are eaten by my sparrows. You see, the larger creature absorbs the smaller ones.
Renfield himself has been eating flies and spiders. Isn't that so, Mr. Renfield?
Quite nutritious. Oh, son, they are life. They give me life.
Disgusting.
And but the amount I'd have to ingest, the sheer numbers, inconceivable.
And the sparrows, what about them?
Sparrows? Fewer, that would make it.
Make what?
I'm waiting, you see. Waiting until the greatest number of lives are absorbed, so that I might...
Tell me, Dr. Seward, what was the last creature that Mr. Renfield asked for?
Apart from the flies, spiders, and sparrows, you mean?
Yes.
A kitten.
A cat. Oh, Dr. Seward, please, do not deny me this request. A cat that I can play with, and teach, and feed, and feed, and feed. Doctor, please, my very salvation depends on it.
Salvation? He's mad.
What do you know of madness?
Easy there, man. Stop it. We've had enough excitement for one night. This lunatic's raving has made me almost forgot about poor Lucy.
Then it's true.
What's true?
Lucy.
What of her?
Lucy is out of your care, isn't she?
Miss Lucy died only a while ago.
Did she?
Yes.
In what sense?
In the sense that she is no longer with us, that she is dead.
And still I ask, in what sense is she dead?
You know perfectly well in what sense Dr. Seward is referring.
Don't bother, Jonathan. He's mad.
Oh, Mr. Harker, comrade, brothers in business.
Just because we work for the same firm does not make us brothers.
I'm afraid that Mr. Renfield is asking you a perfectly valid question.
Perfectly valid.
What do you mean?
Perfectly valid.
I mean that science is young. Our understanding of death must continue to be questioned, tested, defined.
The blood is the life.
The blood is the life. But what happens when the blood is corrupted or tainted with something else? Huh?
Perfectly valid.
True, such a phenomenon must be studied.
Perhaps he's learning, eh, Professor?
If, as Mr. Renfield so astutely noted, the blood is the life, is it not possible then to translate the human body as we know it into a different state of being by altering the blood alone, in such a way so that one is not dead after death, but altered and to be undead, so to speak?
Look, Professor Van Helsing, even if being undead were a possibility, no such thing could alter a person's blood so that the person would enter a state of being undead.
There are strange happenings enacted by strange beings. If you allow your ignorance to keep us from acknowledging it with such possibilities, then we are lost. And he has won.
Who has won?
See, it's true. The master is at hand. I am here to do your bidding, master. I am your slave, and you will reward me. I await your commands.
All the commotion.
The chosen one.
Get away from her!
Renfield, how dare you let her go?
Who is that?
One of my patients.
A lunatic.
Or a disciple.
Forgive me, Mina.
Quite all right.
A disciple, did you say, Professor?
Serve the master. And you, Miss Mina, are his chosen one.
Keep away from her.
Chosen one? Is this some sort of cult?
Renfield, it would appear, serves a dark lord. He has lived as the lord of the undead for ages now. Is that not so, Mr. Renfield? This master that you serve requires you to do his bidding during the daylight hours,
Yes.
Your master is a lonely man and wishes to have company who is like himself. And you, Mr. Renfield, believe that you will receive such an honor, that you will be made undead and so to cheat death?
You know too much, Professor Van Helsing.
When will your master be coming?
Tonight.
I think I'm beginning to know from whom the cause of Miss Mina's troubles are founded. Neither Miss Lucy nor Miss Mina must be left alone tonight.
And me? Oh, please, Dr. Seward, send me away from here. The master will come tonight and I will be taken.
I thought you wanted to be taken.
Please, Dr. Seward, my soul is in danger.
Have you not made an agreement, a covenant?
I beg you, send me away from this place, send Miss Mina away from this place, or we will both be destroyed.
See here now, Miss Mina's place is with me.
You are nothing next to the master.
Get him out of here! You there! Get him out of my sight!
Please, no, you must listen. Professor Van Helsing, you know it to be true. Stop them. Save me. Save.
Jonathan, what do you mean by me being the chosen one?
I'm afraid I can't answer that. Professor, perhaps you can enlighten us.
Our work is at hand. If Mr. Renfield has been privy to the master's intentions, then it would appear that he has chosen Miss Mina as his new companion.
That will never happen.
Let us hope not, but we must be on our guard, for he can take the shape of a wolf, a bat, mist even.
Who is this master?
Good evening.
Ah, at last. So good of you to come.
An invitation from your house. How could I resist? I trust I am invited to step into your home.
Yes, please do come in.
Most kind of you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Count Dracula.
Ah, forgive me. Count Dracula, this is Dr. Seward, our caregiver, and Professor Van Helsing, his university teacher.
Professor Van Helsing. Even my remote home of Transylvania has heard of your books, your teachings, your philosophy. What an honor this is.
Likewise, I'm sure.
And this is Miss Wilhelmina Murray.
Mina.
Miss Murray.
Of course.
My fiancée.
Miss Mina Murray. Mr. Harker has told me all about you during his stay in my home.
I did.
See?
Well, not all.
He told me of your everlasting beauty, your shining eyes, your ruby lips, your delicate complexion. Indeed, he told me that you were the most beautiful woman that walks the land.
Indeed.
I now see that he was wrong.
Is that so?
As generous as he was in your praise, I see now that you are even more beautiful than he described.
Why don't we all have a drink?
Yes, and celebrate the purchase of your new home properly.
Miss Pickering, Miss Pickering.
You called?
Ah, there you are. May we please have a round of drinks? Wine for me.
Me.
Jonathan Van Helsing.
I'll join you.
A scotch.
Count Dracula, can I interest you in a glass?
Most kind of you, but no.
Oh, but you must. It's not every day you make a move of this magnitude.
I never drink wine.
Very well. Miss Pickering, if you please.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan tells me that you settled on Carfax Abbey.
With a generous commission, we agreed.
Indeed, most generous. Even the purchase price, if I recall correctly, you went up on.
I did, and we are still in agreement.
Oh, yes, of course. All the papers are signed. The deal is done. You can trust me.
No man, Mr. Harker, ever quite believes in another man. One may believe in an idea absolutely, but not in a man.
But Count Dracula, you need not doubt me.
Doubt is the condition through which we all must pass before we can enter into the temple of truth.
I shall simply have to prove my credibility to you.
I commend your resolution.
unusual practice of buying, I might say.
What can you mean?
If I recall correctly, you actually paid more than what was asked.
I see. Then my business is not just my business.
Count, I assure you that you have not been compromised. Please, let's change the subject.
I do not mind responding to Dr. Seward's query. Paying extra for Carfax Abbey was meant to demonstrate good faith and to show respect to you and your country. I did not wish to let such a treasure escape me.
Treasure? Carfax Abbey, surely you're joking.
Not at all. You see, I come from an ancient family, an ancient race. To be in a new home would not suit me. Here, in the midst of London, Carfax Abbey is a treasure and will make a suitable home.
But how can you call Carfax Abbey home? It's perfectly dismal.
Dismal is being alone. Dismal is being misunderstood. Dismal is never feeling alive.
Count Dracula, I fear I may have offended you. Please forgive me.
Man's ability to forgive his fellow man or woman arouses the envy of the gods. And so I forgive you. However, you need not ask forgiveness from me. A person's tastes can change. Even you, Miss Mina, may someday come to find Carfax Abbey a place you can call home.
Ah, just in time.
I trust you managed to move your things in without trouble.
I only bought 3 boxes.
3 boxes?
Material possessions encumbered.
Ah, then you plan to simply vacation here and not set up permanent establishment.
Carfax Abbey will be home for me. But like anyone else in my position, I will make trips to my former home as needed. I mean to enjoy the riches that London has to offer. Its inhabitants, I have noted, are an enticing people full of potentiality, full of life.
You are a rather unique individual, Count Dracula.
We must interest you in a similar way that your people interested me during my stay in Transylvania. I too noticed a great deal of potentiality in the people and the riches of your native land during my stay there.
It would appear that men are similar and full of potential in all countries.
Yes, what man could be is an interesting question.
Take a look around. Man is what he has created.
Man is not the sum of what he has already, but rather the sum of what he does not yet have, of what he could have.
Isn't that to live in an illusion? In a dream?
Dreaming men are haunted men.
Dreaming permits each and every one of us to be quietly and safely insane every night of our lives.
And what of those who are awake during the night?
Well, I suppose those rare individuals wouldn't dream.
And would be neither quietly nor safely insane. Simply insane.
Is all this talk of dreaming and insanity?
Nothing, just tired, I suppose.
The important thing is to be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for, what we could become.
Live life so freely.
So dangerously.
Carpe diem, is it?
Or noctum.
And are these carefree aspirations of yours shared by your native people?
Hardly carefree. I care a great deal. Still, I cannot account for their tastes accurately. For even though I am from Transylvania, I am still quite different.
Hear, hear.
Don't be rude, Jonathan.
I'm just trying to sustain the apparent intrigue concerning Count Dracula.
Forgive me, I have become the center of the discussion. Let us talk about your country and culture. Tell me about English tastes.
English tastes? I should like to think that we are leaders in culture, art, ideas, and beauty.
Indeed. Then London is, as I suspected, an excellent school. I would be most an eager pupil if you would take the time to educate me.
I would be more than happy to show our museums, art galleries, and other points of interest around London.
Oh, what do you know of culture and art?
A great deal, thank you very much.
No offense, Jonathan, but if you were to take our new neighbor around London, perhaps he'd well understand Londoners' drinking habits, the best pubs, and where to get a good cigar. I think he's much more interested.
You, Miss Mina, would make an excellent escort.
See there.
Then he's sure to know where to have his hair done up and where to go for the juiciest gossip, eh, Jonathan?
Oh, now don't you join in.
What?
Seriously, you men wouldn't know beauty and art if it was sitting directly in front of you.
Count, we are at your disposal. Choose whomever you like. We're all quite capable.
You are most generous.
Van Helsing, I'd almost forgotten you were here.
Count Dracula, you're very proud of your heritage?
I am.
I wonder if you might share with us something pertaining to your ancient family.
And now we're back to Count Dracula again.
Oh, stop it.
You are a historian, Professor? Or do you simply enjoy a good story?
Both, you might say, but I do know my geography well and Romania intimately.
Indeed. Then you may know of Wallachia and the Balkans.
Of course. It's the area between Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. It was in turmoil in the 15th century.
No doubt then. You are aware of the efforts of my people to maintain order in a troubled land.
Yes, much blood was spilled over religion and land rights.
You are learned, Professor.
A great deal of pain and suffering still exists there.
Pain and death are a part of life. To reject them is to reject life itself.
And so you embrace them?
What else is there to do?
Simply live.
Yes, but life is only validated through death.
One wants to live, of course. Indeed, one may only want to stay alive by virtue of the fear of death.
Science says we must live and seeks the means of prolonging and increasing life, of making it tolerable and acceptable. Wisdom says we must die and seeks how to allow us to die with dignity.
Then we're talking about quality of life.
Yes.
Let's talk of death and dying. Please let us not forget that Lucy lies in the other room.
Mina is right. We have been thoughtless.
It has often been said that it is not death, but the process of dying which is terrible.
Lucy is at peace.
Still, I can't believe she's dead.
Lucy? Dead?
Yes.
How?
Some sort of disease that attacked her blood cells and made our efforts at transfusion futile.
May I see her?
What is it you hope to do?
Perhaps I can help.
I assure you we have done everything possible to save her.
Have you?
Well, yes. Scientifically and medically speaking, there is nothing more.
No doubt. You have exhausted your resources. May I?
Please, but careful. She has a condition that we can't quite understand.
I don't like this.
What's to like?
Count Dracula seems to be a most interesting individual.
Indeed.
He's suffering.
I grant you he is.
Don't like this.
What the hell's going on?
Count Dracula has just come in by your permission to see Lucy. Is this true?
Yes, it is.
Whatever for?
I think he's simply curious.
From what I gather, he is a very learned man. Perhaps
What business has he with Lucy?
He seemed to want to help her.
Why in the good name of Christ he send us out?
And why is he talking to her?
I don't like this.
He just wants to help her.
Help her, she's dead. Was he a priest?
This is absurd.
Gentlemen, I assure you.
I'm going in.
How peaceful she is.
Peaceful? She's dead!
So it would appear.
As I concluded.
Yeah, Doc. Brilliant conclusion.
Unless you have a different diagnosis, Count.
Lucy, my friends, is simply changing from one being to another.
If only it were that simple to accept. All we have now is the memory of her.
It is nothing to fear. In fact, it might be desirable.
We are meant to want to live.
And she shall.
Not just in our memories.
We want her back.
Me most of all.
You love her then?
More than you could know.
Do you think as much?
I do. And let me tell you something else. I don't care who you are. You have no business looking in on Lucy. She was meant to be with me. She meant everything to me. And I meant everything to her.
Is that so?
She would do anything for me. And I would do anything for her. It was like She was able to read my mind. When I came in the room, she knew exactly what to do for me.
You speak of her as if she were one of your possessions.
Possessions? I cared about her. It wasn't like I sat her down, hypnotized her, and forced her to do things for me. For Christ's sake, I'm not some heartless monster.
The healthiest relationships are those that give and take mutually, respectfully, lovingly. Women weren't created simply to fulfill the desires of men.
She meant everything to me, and now she's gone.
And now you think you know what it is to have loved and lost.
I do! And I have every right to feel that way.
You know nothing of love and loss. When you have loved and lost as I have, you spend a lifetime in eternity, in anguish. You speak to me of love and loss. You who live and die in the blink of an eye without the passions or the courage to feel what it means to exist and to devote oneself wholly to the one he loves.
She meant everything to me!
Don't meddle with me, boy.
Hey!
Please! Please! I beg of you, control yourselves.
Forgive me. I have old wounds that still cause me grief. Mr. Homewood, I beg your forgiveness. We are brothers in grief.
Isn't there an expression about the forgiveness provoking the envy of gods?
Indeed there is.
Well, let us both be forgiven.
And let us both provoke the gods.
Seems, Count, that there was someone in your life, someone profoundly important to you.
Like you, Mina, she was an angel.
Tell me about her.
Her name was Ilona. She was in the service of the Holy Order. She was beautiful. The bishop had his eye on her. He was very powerful. In secret, we were married. Soon after, I was sent to fight in the Balkan lands. While I was away, the bishop kept her close to him. When she would not yield to him, he had her tortured and beheaded. When I returned and discovered that the bishop was to blame, he begged me to allow him to prepare a special communal service that would bring her back to life. That would make her immortal. He told me I would share a sacred cup with him. We drank. He poured the remaining liquid into Ilona's mouth, but nothing happened. I took up the crucifix and drove it through the bishop's heart.
When was this?
A long, long time ago.
You say you drank from the cup that this bishop prepared.
We all did. Nothing happened.
Your precious Ilona was dead. And then you killed the bishop by driving a crucifix through his heart?
Yes.
Nothing could have happened to them. What of you?
The bishop had made a mistake in the preparation, for, as I told you, the cup was meant to make Ilona immortal.
Is that what you say?
Indeed.
Hey, Arthur, old boy, why don't we step outside for some fresh air?
Gentlemen, ma'am?
My friends, I think it is time I retire. I fear I have overstayed my welcome.
I'm sorry the evening took a turn for the worse.
But no need to worry, Count. You are always welcome here. Jonathan, why don't we refresh our drinks?
An admirable idea. I'll join you.
Mina, can I get you something?
Nothing, thank you.
Well then, why don't you simply come along and keep us company?
I'd like to speak with the Count before he leaves. Alone.
Of course, that would be... Are you certain?
Yes.
Well...
And in light of what has just happened, I think that if any relations are to be mended within the current company, a woman's words will far better than any of yours.
Very well.
You must forgive Arthur, he's a bit upset. Usually he's quite clear-headed, a proper gentleman. Jonathan and Dr. Seward truly are trying to make you feel welcomed here in London. We all are. Clearly you have loved very deeply, Count. I don't mean to pry. You must be lonely due to your loss. If you would care to speak on, perhaps I could help.
You can. Mina, I have traveled across millennia to find you. Mina, at last, I have found you.
Hey, what are you saying? Who are you?
Look at me. After tonight, I will always be a part of you. You will see me in your sleep. You will see me in the shadows, for I am your destiny. I am your fate.
Yes.
I am your life.
Yes.
I am your savior.
Yes.
And you are mine.
I swear to you. I swear to you, Quincey, if I find Dracula, I would kill him with my bare hands.
All right, easy there, Art. Look, there's a proper way to... We need to follow orders if there's any hope for Mina.
It's about Lucy. No one seems to remember her.
Of course we do, Art. What works for one works for... What was that?
There's Arthur.
Lucy.
Arthur, come to me.
What in God's name?
Arthur, come to me. Touch me.
Lucy, have you come back?
I have. I'm here for you.
Arthur, damn it, don't move!
But Quincey, don't you see? She's back.
Come to me. Let me kiss you.
Art, stop right there.
Quincey, I can't. It's Lucy.
Yes.
Quincey, what are you doing? No!
Art, damn it! She's not human.
No!
Get a hold of yourself, Art. She ain't human.
Why?
How the hell would I know? But remember what Professor said? Or we gotta cut her head off. The hell was that? On second thought, we better just get out of here.
You hear, Anushka? They mean to cut off her head.
Ours too, no doubt.
Silly man, are you afraid? Oh, you're all alike.
Your longing, your desire runs as shallow as your eyes.
So simple. So easily subdued.
Do you like what you see?
You want to know how it feels? Do you want to join us?
Let us kiss then.
Quincey.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Feel your blood change and die.
Be reborn with new eyes.
Ah, and now you begin to understand. And what is it that you mortals do with vampires?
A stake through their heart and cut off their heads.
You have done well.
Master, the men are dead. Killed in the way they meant to kill us.
Does this not please you?
Yes. And where is Lucy?
The men destroyed her.
Most unfortunate. But even in her brief service to me, she has done well. And now it is time for Mina to take her place among you. She will be my queen. Go and find the others. Do not toy with them too long. Kill them. Bring their heads to me. Careful with Professor Van Helsing. He may not have lived a single lifetime, but he is wise.
Where am I?
You are where you belong, with me.
Where is Jonathan? What have you done with him?
You needn't worry about Jonathan any longer.
What do you want with me?
I have waited for this moment for an eternity. Mina, look at me. Do you not know me? I am the one you see in your dreams and must free me.
I'm afraid of you. You are evil. You are a monster.
I drank from the cup and then was betrayed. Mina, I am a prince. I am your prince.
I am already betrothed.
It is to whom you are betrothed. Mina, I have been alone for too long. You are ripe for marriage. Look to me to fill you with life and love, and so free me.
I am already promised to another.
In words, perhaps, but not in deed. Mina, as a woman, you must know what it is like to have eyes upon you, to be coveted, to be desired, to be hated, to be loved. Mina, I see in you a lonely woman who desperately craves companionship, to be with someone who will be true. Is this not your greatest hope?
Any woman would say yes to that.
But you are not any woman. You are chosen by me to be my companion for all eternity, and to know that I will be by your side always. Can you say as much of Jonathan?
Jonathan is honorable.
But his love cannot last as mine. Mina, we will live forever.
I cannot return your love.
Mina, do not force me to make you mine. That would be false, insincere, tragic.
I could never forsake Jonathan.
You already have. In your eyes, you already have. You need but give voice to your new resolve.
At what cost?
We all make sacrifices. It makes the reward that much sweeter.
Bitter. Just as you are bitter.
Free me. Release my poor heart. Give me new wings.
Do not do this to me.
Mina! Mina, are you all right?
Dr. Seward, check the windows. Here, let me examine her. It would appear that the wounds on her neck have not been reopened. Okay, she is waking.
Mina, my love, are you all right?
I think so. Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan, I've had the worst visions.
There now, rest. I'm here. You're safe.
Van Helsing,
Yes.
I think you'd better come have a look at this.
What is it? Vampire.
Who would do such a thing?
What have you found?
Mr. Holmwood and Mr. Morse have been killed, beheaded. Did Dracula do this?
Perhaps.
Monster.
Has he no decency? Killing men this way?
Much the same way we would have killed him, is it not?
This is different. He is ruthless, unfeeling.
He would have survived.
Professor Van Helsing, these two men were with us. We may have had our differences, but they meant help.
Indeed, they were comrades. But what of Lucy, What of the thousands of others that Dracula has slain? They were not his comrades?
Professor, what can you be saying?
You sound as if you sympathize with that beast.
Do not speak disrespectfully of someone who has dared and acted in ways that you could only dream. He is braver than any of us.
Professor, what has come over you?
Do you not see? Imagine what Dracula has built, what he has created. Tell me, which of you does not want a longer life? What if we could control the things that Dracula could control? No more suffering. What if we could have his gift?
In Helsing, that would not be life as we know it.
Exactly. That would not be life as we know it. And what do we know of it? What exactly is life? But pain, loss.
Van Helsing, what Dracula would offer, it is not a gift, it is a curse. Life is beautiful.
Life is suffering. It's...
Professor, get a hold of yourself, please. We need you.
Don't you? Doesn't anybody?
Professor, look at me. Professor, we're here for you. We need you here for us. I need you.
Professor, she's right. We're in this together. If we lose you, we fail.
Forgive me, please. I don't know what came over me.
It's all right.
Come, we must have these two men buried properly.
Those two poor souls. I feel as if their deaths were somehow my fault.
Come now. How could you possibly be to blame for their deaths?
Something, a memory, a vision.
Mina, don't upset yourself. They died, no doubt, valiantly, and you had nothing to do with it.
But who did it?
Dracula, isn't it obvious?
But this is not his way.
I don't understand.
Why would Dracula destroy the very thing that gives him life? No, the beheading of these two men, it was ruthless. It was protection.
Or a different person.
Or persons. What was it that Renfield said?
That women were Dracula's closest servants.
And that would explain why he enslaved poor Lucy.
And now he has his eye on Mina as his next victim. Or so it would seem.
And why? Because she is the nearest woman?
To be a woman is to be a victim.
I'm not sure I like the sound of that.
Of course not. You're a man.
My dearest Mina, what's wrong? Have you grown so cold?
Not cold.
Pessimistic?
Realistic. You need me. What is man without woman? You men need someone to save.
Come now. This isn't about need. It's about saving you because I love you.
And so you're the hero and I the victim. I am the counterpart to your petty needs. What is it you say? I am lost without you.
Mina, you know.
I love you more than anything.
Yes.
Without you, I am nothing.
All right, that's enough.
Am I everything?
Stop it. You know how I meant it.
Only insofar as you are able. Nothing like it at all.
Mina, you're hysterical. Listen to me. There is nothing I wouldn't do for you.
Really?
Yes, really.
You would cross an eternity for me?
Yes.
You would search for me to the ends of the earth?
Yes.
You would give your life for me?
Yes.
You would give your soul for me?
I would. Why would you ask that of me?
It's only hypothetical, you simpleton. It's so hot.
Mina, you frighten me.
Men, do you think that we women are nothing without you? You think that we are empty shells pining for our other halves to make us whole? So hot in here.
Mina, if I may interrupt.
There's no need to be rude, darling. I'm sure Dr. Seward was only trying to help.
Yes, Jonathan is right, Mina. I suspect that the shock you've been through is affecting your mental state of being. We're all only trying to help.
It's so hot in here.
Jonathan, help me lie her down. Easy. Dr. Seward, her pulse, it's irregular.
She's pale.
Something is wrong with her blood.
Remember what happened to Lucy?
Can't be happening.
Does she need a transfusion?
It is too late for that. Her breathing is highly irregular. We must keep her from being attacked again by the vampire by placing countermeasures around her while we make plans to destroy Count Dracula. Jonathan and Dr. Stewart, take Miss Mina into the adjoining room. I will prepare the Holy Host. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Christe eleison, Christe eleison.
All you have. Not very comforting, is it?
Renfield, you startled me. What are you doing out of your room?
I've been freed.
By whom?
Helpers. I'm a helper. We all need helpers.
Renfield, I want to know exactly who these helpers are. Renfield, can you hear me?
You've changed. I see it in your eyes.
What you're talking about?
The gift.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know very well what I'm talking about.
You're deranged.
You see, I'm correct.
Renfield, you're sick. You need help.
Do you know how it happens? Blood begins here and travels down, down until it reaches here. For that's where desire rests. Your whole body is taken over, and then when you least expect it, the master will...
Good God! Get off!
I need lies! I need lies! I cannot think without them!
I'm going to give you a sedative, and you are going to stay in solitary confinement for a week.
No!
Damned, why doesn't anybody answer?
You needn't ring the bell. No one will come.
What are you talking about?
All gone. All gone.
Here now. What are you talking about?
They are all gone, but the helpers are coming.
Mina, join us.
Juana, Anushka, Helena?
Join us.
Join us.
Mina, help me. I love you. Mina! Mina, no!
Brides, what have you done?
Mina! Mina, answer me!
She is dying. We must move her quickly. He'll be coming. Jonathan, help me.
No!
Jonathan, stop and help me.
What have you done? My beautiful queens.
What about him?
Leave him. We will get him momentarily. Dr. Stewart, get my bag. Get my things, hurry.
Master, you are here? Free me, please.
Joanna, Anushka, Helena, what have you done?
They did it. And her.
Mina, how could you? I see you are proud and will not have any others before you.
Forgive me, I do not know why I did that.
Mina?
You alone will be my queen.
Master, please do not forsake me. Take me as your slave.
You are not worthy of the gifts and powers I have to offer.
No, please. I may not be as learned as the professor or the doctor, but I am an eager pupil.
You cannot obey simple commands.
But he could.
Mina, what are you saying?
Professor Van Helsing is quite interested in the gifts you have to offer.
Mina, please, do not tempt me.
He has seen the light and would have my gifts.
I do not want what you have to offer.
You do not want what I have to offer. No more pain, no more questioning, no more sickness.
All at such a cost.
One day, very soon, your kind will pay with all that is dear to them to have what I offer. There will be nothing that your kind won't do to live longer, for the fear of death is too great.
I pity you.
And I you.
It's over, Count Dracula. Your rights have perished, and you must follow.
And do you suppose to send me?
I do.
Then you must not fear death.
All mortal men must face it.
Such courage. I will live forever.
They live ill who expect to live always.
I commend your bravery, but you will not destroy me, for you have no idea with whom you are dealing.
I know who you are. A descendant of Basarab, you are responsible for the deaths of many men, women, and children.
Yes, it is true that I sent many men into battle to their deaths. I come from a proud line of kings. With that title comes a great deal of responsibility that ordinary men do not nor will not understand.
Were you not also a member of a secret order?
The Order of the Dragon. It is a brotherhood. Our mission was to extend the reaches of the Christian Empire. An honorable intention, no?
Yes, the intentions were honorable. The outcome was deplorable. You possess all the characteristics of a Greek tragic hero. Vain, stubborn, proud.
We Zeklys have a right to be proud. In our veins flows the blood of many brave races who fought as the lion fights.
Your time is over.
We drove back many countries, many men, and now I will drive you back too.
You were a tyrant. You burned women and children, impaired hundreds of thousands.
They died and served as an example for others.
You enjoyed it.
I executed my right as a ruler.
You broke with the church. You blasphemed God.
I was betrayed.
No, you drank from a blasphemed cup. You held a mortal over God.
I was abandoned.
No, you isolated and excommunicated yourself at your choice.
You will not command me. One day, even you, Van Helsing, may do my bidding. Mina! Come to me now.
Mina, stop.
Come to me. What will you do now, good doctors?
We will do what must be done, and you will be destroyed.
You are weak men and haven't the courage.
That remains to be seen.
Van Helsing, no! We are powerless where he has Mina.
Jonathan, you must forget your poor Mina. She is gone.
Van Helsing, are you mad?
He's right, Jonathan. We may have lost the battle. Think of the war.
Van Helsing, I love her. She's not like Lucy. She's alive.
You think so?
Oh, nice. You are all so close. Here you have the opportunity to destroy me, and yet the only thing that stands between your actions and me is just a woman.
Not just a woman. Someone who is loved. Count, please, I would do anything for her. I love her.
Love. So long ago.
Let Mina go. And I give you my word. No harm will come to you.
Tonight.
Count, what is love if it is not returned?
She will grow to love me.
And would that be true? Would that be enough? Would that make the pain go away?
What is day if there is no night? What is life if there is no death? What is the beginning if there is no end? What is love if it is not returned?
So alone, never to rest, never to have peace. I have only ever wanted to help you.
Indeed.
Your gift is no gift, but mine is.
Then for you, for there is nothing else. Release me.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for joining us tonight for Dracula, a Vampire Play. It's been just such great fun watching these folks perform tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. Thank you all very much again. Happy Halloween and have a good night.